I can't believe it.
Oh, shit, that was
Jeez.
crazy.
Oh man, these just if y'all knew what went on
Right.
behind the
8
scenes, I
o'clock.
mean, goodness gracious, couldn't even fix my camera. It's just ridiculous.
It's not our
But
fault if
welcome,
you're
welcome,
unprepared.
welcome. Oh my goodness, the camera I went to fix it the last. Listen, don't worry. Listen, welcome everybody. Welcome to Nothing But Answers, where you join us and we give you the answers to the best of our ability. We give you our answers. Okay, our answers usually are the right ones. I'm just putting it out there. So, the NBA is somewhere you can come to get all the answers to whatever you have. We have answers for everything. Everything. Okay? It's nothing. It's not a thing we don't have an answer for. Okay. So let's start with our introduction.
Well, Dag, we are open to your answers as
We
well.
certainly
Goodness.
are.
I mean, you can give your opinion, but we give answers. Okay. There's a difference in opinion and facts. So we definitely want to hear what you have to say, right? And again, Nothing But Answers is we want to hear your answers too, like Doc said. We want to hear your answers and just expand on what we're doing. So, you leaving? Okay. Leaving? No? Okay, I got it. Okay. What are you telling me? Can you hear me? Never mind. I'm busy. I'm on the air. I'm on air right now. Okay?
I'm like, is he,
Listen,
you
let's start
talking
with some
to you,
introductions.
you talking to the people in your head. Hey, I
Oh,
love
Okay.
the hair.
I love
They said
it.
they love the hair.
We're getting fancy.
Uh-oh.
I usually do it, so I taught her how to do that.
That's so cute.
Okay.
She's growing up on ya. Growing up.
Yes.
fast.
This is what happens.
Where,
I mean,
where
she
the rest
looks
of them,
different from
where the
Yes,
rest of them
even a
shorts at?
couple weeks
months
ago.
ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Where the rest of them shorts at? You're missing some shorts. It's ridiculous.
Stop it. Let that child enjoy life.
This is ridiculous. Just because you got the same shorts you be wearing in your workouts, or
Exactly. I have them on right now, too, Daryl.
don't stand up. Oh damn! It's a PG show.
You made me go there. You made me.
But we're going to get back to Ruth in a minute. But let's start with introductions. No, really, Ruth is going to be a very integral part of this conversation today, and Doc and myself. But let's talk about introduce the cast today. So who are we with? Doc, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. You see, I got my blue light glasses on today because
I see.
I was in a training all day today, and same thing yesterday. I was in a training all day online, and at the end of that training, I had such a horrible headache. It's like I had to lay down. Yes.
Oh my.
Didn't realize just the strain. And it was a heavy training as well because it was about trauma and treating trauma. And, so it was heavy all the way around, just the eye strain, the information, everything. I had to lay down after that one.
Wow.
So I was like, today I'm going to try to take care of my eyes.
Good for you.
Yes, and my head as well. We did some meditation before the training. We did a meditation like halfway through. I did my yoga during lunch.
Good.
So yeah, so I came out a little better this evening.
Good.
Other than that, I'm doing good.
Sounds good.
Wow. So Ruth, how are you doing?
I'm just fabulous. Thanks for asking. You see, I have my specs on as well because I can't see a darn thing without them.
So yours is not blue light. Yours is just life.
Mine is just light and all. And I try to fake it and take them off every now and again. I need these. Okay. Real sign of my age. But anyway, other than that, I'm good. Took care of grandma. Had a great week so far. Little this, little that. Nothing too eventful that I can think of.
Gotcha.
But good stuff. Thanks for asking. I'm here.
Right. Pretty good week other than me smoking every day, and I don't smoke. So that was,
oh, you read that little post? I was advised not to go outside and work out because of the smoky atmosphere, of course. And then that person decided to just light up on their porch, and I was like,
I saw a lot. I saw a lot of that. My friend had the same
affliction.
Same issue. The same issue where he was at work and someone was talking about wearing a mask and then went outside to smoke.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Makes you go things that makes you go
So let me check. We have a caller.
Oh, we do.
Hello. Perfectly imperfect. How are you doing? You got to unmute yourself. Caller, you have to unmute yourself. Well, while they figure it out, we'll
they'll
unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, caller.
They are there and they're muted.
We want to hear from you. Unmute.
Well, maybe they're not unmuting because they don't have anything to say.
There we go. Try to unmute yourself now, caller. Okay. So what we're going to move on. We're there. Today it was very interesting. Our topic today definitely came about due to the young lady who passed from getting body augmentation. I think she was getting a mommy makeover, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very interesting. The title today was "Dying to Be Perfect." Dying to be perfect. Is it worth the risk? With some of these surgeries, especially, and we have some questions later. But is it? So let's just go right there, guys. Do you think it's worth it to put yourself at risk going under anesthesia and things of that nature to I get for whatever reason it is, because there's so many reasons it could be. But what do you guys think about that?
Are you
asking us?
Yeah.
Nobody else here. You know what? I think it depends on the person. It depends. If you're in a place where you are just so unhappy with what you see in the mirror, you might say to yourself, it's worth it. But some people who just say or let's say they just want to make something smaller or bigger, they might not think the risk is all that much because of the type of procedure they're having. So I think those are 2 points to consider. Somebody is very, very unhappy and somebody who just doesn't see it as a risk, because some of these procedures are, they say are so common that the risk is very low, even though every time you go under the knife for anything, you're taking a risk.
Well, some of them, the risk are lower. Some of the risk is definitely higher because they take long. You're under you're under anesthesia for longer, and the longer you're on anesthesia, longer surgery is, the more risk that you are taking. And I think people don't the one thing I was looking at today, the doctor was saying, people act like this is a regular, ordinary procedure. Like even they said a breast augmentation maybe takes like 40 minutes, but a BBL takes considerably longer. Considerably longer, which is one reason that it's such a risk to it, and people just think it's like it's cosmetic, like boom, boom, boom. It's not. And then even the after effects, what you have to go through with the drainage and sitting certain ways and all the things you have to do, which put you at risk for so many other things, even in healing, makes it very difficult. And I think people don't understand that.
But I think a lot of times people don't even do any kind of research on what they're doing. I don't even think they research the doctors very well.
No. Their research The
research
to me,
is
I'm
around
sorry to cut
price.
you off.
The price and the yeah.
No, I don't even think they may research the price, but that's off after they already made a commitment to do it because they researched by watching Love and Hip Hop or Kim or the Kardashians or you know the things that are in the media, and they see this is what, or they feel this is what will make them better, or what or make men want them more, or men want women more, because men are doing it now. You know, they have the elective surgeries that men are doing. I will say, from what I've read, the surgeries aren't as life-threatening. They're not as invasive usually. Even the surgeries where women, where men are getting, I guess, big thing of getting taller, because you know women don't want no short man.
Right.
We don't want no short man. Oh, that wasn't about height. That wasn't about height. Okay, gotcha.
Shame for shame.
Men are doing it too, but women are still doing it more. More.
Oh, absolutely. But they did said the procedures for men are picking up.
Okay.
It is. So these things are catching on. Like more and more people are seeing it. So it's becoming more and more almost common. Like I think you guys alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
It's becoming normal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, girl, let's not be like Ruth. Ruth is doing too much out there in that little tent. That look hot. It looks difficult.
It hurts like hell the day after. Trust me.
You understand? And they said, listen, I can go pay $5,000, and what she's trying to do, I can have done in a day.
Right. But Daryl, that goes back to your question of, is it is it something that people consider when they're doing these things? And people want the easy, quick fix today.
Instant gratification, right?
And if that surgery is going to give you more of that, even though there's some after effects that people don't really talk about as much, some people are willing to risk their lives for it. And for me personally, surgery is surgery. I don't want to go under for something I have to go under for.
Well, that's the thing.
That's me.
It's really, when you have to go under, it's difficult. And now when you elect to go under because of, it could be vanity or whatever it is. That's a tough decision to make, especially if you have a family.
True.
If you have people that are counting on you, right? So it's okay. I guess it's more if you're rolling the dice and you're by yourself, all right, roll the dice. But if you have a family and people that are counting on you, that becomes, a little,
more.
I don't want to say selfish. I didn't say selfish. I'm just saying it becomes something. I'm not going to say selfish, but it becomes something when I don't know what the word is for it.
What did we say now? Read the banner.
I didn't judge.
No,
I do think if you're doing things outside of your family, it does become all about you. It's not a judgment. It's more, what are you thinking about? What's your thought process? Because if something happens to you, then what? Especially for something that you're electing to do.
And it's interesting because this young lady that we're focused on having this, this session about, I saw a video that was prior to her surgery saying, I know y'all are telling me I don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it. It's my body and I'm doing it. And I was surprised to see that video that she had done prior to it.
Wow.
So,
and I mean, it is her body. It is her body. I did hear people saying, why didn't you stop her from doing it? Like, what do you mean stop? What are you going to do? Lock in a room?
Right. Yeah. You can't stop. You can't stop someone from doing it.
You can't stop someone from doing anything. You can voice your opinion, right? You can say, hey, listen, I'd rather you not. But see, and I was thinking about this too. It's very interesting. It's an interesting place to be in because I think sometimes you want to be supportive of your partner, right? And you're like, oh, are you trying to get better? Okay. But you don't want to be negative. And it's tough. It's tough sometimes, in that situation because she's, whatever she's doing it for, you want to support her. But then it's like,
hey, and would she not do it if he said, babe, I love your body the way it is. Babe, you look so good to me. Would she have not done it? Maybe she might have still done it.
Yes, because it might not be about
exactly. So she may have told him, this is not about you.
Yes.
This is about how I feel about me.
Yes.
And like I said, at that point, you got to be like, okay. You know what I mean? Because You can't stop a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I think maybe why don't you do? You could try to help research, and even if you're putting out the bad things, like don't be talking that bad stuff into my existence. So so it is a very difficult. I think it's a difficult position to be in if you're with someone.
And it makes me think. Do you think that people are giving it at least a second thought right now with all the videos that are coming out about the botched jobs and having to go back in and take things out and correct things? Or do you think that's making a difference with people and their decisions?
No.
I think just from what I hear, when I actually talk to someone who's considering or who's made a decision,
yes,
that it's just like what Daryl was saying last time. I think it was you, Daryl, was talking about with the drug stuff. You think it's not going to happen to you,
right?
Like, no, I'm going to be fine. That's not going to happen to me.
You see, it's like most things. When something happens, I mean, people die at Disney World all the time.
True.
No, people don't stop going. They just forget. You just forget. And if you see so many representations of it working or so-called working, you see it around. You see this person, and this person. So that kind of outdoes any thought you have about not doing it. So at that point, it's that risk reward, and the reward outweighs the risk.
Right.
Well, in your mind, right? And it's in your mind because I think we'll touch on later some of the effects of even having a successful surgery. Is it still a success, right? And that's the other thing. So you might make it past, and the surgery goes, and everything works out flawless, but you still may not be happy, And so it's very interesting. All the components of it, because if we focus on just the actual surgery and the negatives, but we need to also talk about the negatives of getting the surgery, of actually having it done.
And I think we should touch on a little bit about how prevalent it is.
Okay. Okay.
It's happening. Probably somebody getting surgery right now.
Yes.
Listen, I got my 5,000.
And the Aesthetic Society, they're the ones who do the research, the education, and all the new stuff, the innovation stuff around plastic surgery. And look at the stats. Even during the pandemic, surgery went up.
Wow.
I get it. You sitting around doing nothing. Like, I got time. I can heal.
Well,
that makes sense to me. I can heal.
I have time to heal.
I can, right, and I can heal in the comfort of my own house. So people want. I know when I went back to work, there was a lot of people that was brand new. Who are you?
Wow. Really? You saw that?
I mean, that was. I know it was 2 years, but dang, you are new. So the mommy makeover.
Did they say they were working out?
Yeah,
did they say they was working out.
I don't ask. I don't want to hear the lie. Like, I'd rather you not lie to me. So, but I just know the mommy makeovers are rampant. That's the thing right now. Mommy makeovers are
Well, again, because social media, Daryl, has made normal looking folks not okay, or not as good as, I will say.
Well, yeah, and it's what's being promoted. That's really what it is. What's being promoted, what's being advertised, and what's being pushed on us is a certain look, and everybody's becoming a character, right?
Yes.
It's like it's a character on a game, and everybody's picking the same character. People look so similar.
So much alike.
Everybody looks alike. I don't care. And it's not about your color, because I don't care what color you are. You're just the same person, different color. It's
and you can tell by the stats what's being done. People want to look younger.
Yep, that's number one. That's
facelifts. They want to be young.
Yep.
They want to have the body look that caricature. It's a caricature for some people because you don't even look like a character.
Right. You definitely ODing. But and it can be. So Ruth, it was when I looked it up. It was actually people did it for the body portion of it first, and then aging was second.
Oh, aging was second. Interesting. I thought aging
because
was
remember,
right there.
And why aging? I see it being second because a lot of people doing it are 18, 19 years old.
True.
20 years old, 22 years old, a model trying to get in the game, IG, things of that nature. You're trying to, portray something and promote something, and you're getting this look.
And that's not about the age; it's about the look.
It's not about age at all. Yeah. It's about the look, And so the look, the aesthetic is the biggest reason why people are doing it. And then we do have people who are fighting aging and things of that nature.
But I've seen people with like you're saying, the body part, and they haven't dealt with the aging piece other than that. It's like,
well, again, it's like one-stop shop. Because
what are you doing?
How many? If I seen if she's 75 and she got a fatty, you might take her down. Like, listen, grandma. hey, Gertrude, you got yams. You know what I mean? So Gertrude could get it.
But I've seen that. I've seen some older faces on the younger body thing.
Oh, yeah.
Very perplexing to me.
I was at somewhere at some event, and the lady, she looked about 110, I think. She was close to 110 probably. But her body was Meg Thee Stallion.
Yes, I've seen that.
I remember when she turned around, I was like, oh, okay. Didn't have enough for your face, huh? Okay. Ran out of money, huh?
Yeah.
I get you. So,
that is true.
But like I said, she still was a hit. She was a hit.
She was still a hit.
She had a little cat suit on, a little one piece, killing them.
Wow, interesting.
So in that light, maybe it is worth it to some, Daryl, because the other aspects of aging are happening so rapidly, and they can control that piece, and they're going to do.
Well, again, I think it's about your intentions. I think someone like that wants attention, right? And
yes,
if a lot of men are very visual, so if you look like something like that, then we might not even need a head.
Shame for shame. Shame.
You know what I mean? She I don't know if she even had a face. You know what I mean? Because you're paying attention to the body, so that's what's happening.
So then maybe can men change the trajectory of this? Can men stop being so visual? Where what do you mean? Why? For what you just said.
Wait. If I said bigger is better, then why are we going to keep doing what you got to do to make us feel better?
That's a damn shame.
Like, you know what? We can make this Benz better. Would you make the Benz better or just leave the same? Make it better.
That's different. Anyway, that's different. But Neil, you made me, when you said that question, it made me think about all the conversations I've had with young women about not responding when guys call out to them disrespectfully. Yo, sis,
cat calling.
Cat calling.
Yeah.
But the young girls don't stop. And the guys keep doing it because they think it's okay. Nobody.
Well, Doc, I will say all men are not disrespectful. Most are not.
But a lot of men are going to. A lot.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about the limited men who do that, because most men are going to approach you. Remember, most men are approaching you online anyway, so they're only approaching you. No.
What I'm saying is, there was a time when I would talk to the young women, and tell them just don't respond to that, and hopefully in hopes of the men not doing it. But nobody. What I'm saying is nobody took the liberty to do that. The women didn't stop listening or responding, and the guys didn't stop doing it. So it's just.
Well, I don't know if that's true, because women actually they don't really respond to it. They may, well, I guess they do. Sometimes they do, and they give you a fake number, whatever the case may be. But they're not responding in a positive way. That never works. That's never worked in the history of catcalling. It's never worked. that's usually somebody who's doing it who has no purpose and they're just yelling out. It has usually never worked. Hey, babe, that doesn't work. Girls keep walking. It works very for the girls who like this stuff, but most girls that doesn't work for. It's not like a thing.
Maybe that's changed. Maybe
where I grew up, was different.
Yeah, I think.
Well, maybe that's about the type of women you knew. Okay, maybe it's about your flock.
Maybe that's
most time when people are doing that,
I remember that time, Doc. I do.
Right, and how many times did you stop?
That's how young men met girls back in the day.
No, you didn't. You don't yell at them and they stop. Most time they don't stop, and if you do stop, they're giving you the wrong number. Right, because they're just doing it because they know you crazy and they don't want you to follow you home and beat them up or nothing when you say you can't have their number. So yeah, I don't believe that to be true as far as. I think most people are approaching women in a respectful way, like you're in a club.
I think so now. I just see from the way I'm approached all the time. I see now the young boys are trying to be more respectful when they're approaching now.
Listen, I don't know what hood you from and what you used to, okay? So can't speak to that. Speaking to most men, and we're not talking about grown adolescents, are not yelling at a woman, okay? So if you're dealing with a lot of grown adolescents, they're gonna get yo, ma, yo, hey, man. Yeah, that just don't even.
That doesn't count.
It's just not even appetizing.
I think it works because you still hear it, so it must work for some.
No. I told you, those people who usually do it without the expectation of completing the deal. They do it. That's just the lowest form of
doing something. Because they don't have nothing else to do.
Yeah,
right. And they kind of feel right, and then they feel like, I'd get it if I went over there. No, because most girls are not responding to that. If you respond to that, you're usually from that. And if you like, yo, ma, she gonna be like, yo, what's up? She gonna say the same thing back, y'all. Match in heaven. Boom, boom. Good job. Most people are not doing that. I just don't know where that happened at, and they succeed. Like any people I know, whoever yelled at you, in the passenger side of the ride, trying to holler at a girl, usually doesn't work.
I've seen it in Center City. I've seen it in West Philly. I've seen it in South Philly.
I told you, we have seen it.
I've seen it in Cherry Hill.
Right. Listen, and again, how many times have you seen it work? How many times have you saw it work?
I don't know the numbers, but I've seen girls turn around and walk back to the guy that yelled at them.
Again, I told you, if you from that, then yes. So you're going to have, there's always, here we go again, outliers. We're talking about outliers. A lot of things happen. Again, a UFO landed in somewhere not too long ago. Does it happen all the time?
Yes.
It did. It did land. Yeah, I'll send you the video later. A UFO did land. It was crazy. They got video. It's crazy. It's crazy. It scares me to death.
Back on focus. He's going.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just trying to tell you, most men are not out here just yo, ma. It ain't doing that. Okay.
All right.
I'm saying you do have a specific sector that may do that. Yes. It doesn't work. It just doesn't because you scare the girls out.
Right. That's all I'm saying. That there are some people that do it, and there are some people it works for. We can't negate that.
So
sometimes.
Point made. That's it.
I hate having these. If we're having good faith arguments, we don't want to talk about the extremes. Like we got to say, well, it is extreme because
it's not extreme.
It is.
Daryl says if it's not the masses, then it's
not.
Yes,
we're not This is not what's happening on a regular basis.
Okay, we got that.
It's not.
But it's still.
How many times y'all stop when they're like, yo, ma, you stop?
When I was about 16, 17, yeah, maybe.
That's because you wanted that. Exactly. Like I said, that's the other caveat you got to put in. You gotta be fine to do that and get somebody to stop. If you ain't fine, they ain't stopping. Like, come on. If you like, yo, ma, he had 3 eyes, you be like, all right, I'm good, I'm keep walking. So
it's all good.
And women, so what we can say, women do the same thing. Right? Can we say women do the same thing?
Whoa, women do the same what? Catcalling?
Yes.
No, we do not.
Here we go. So now here we go.
Not.
Here we go.
No, we do not.
I'm a man. I've been catcalled.
What was you doing to be catcalled?
Walking.
And you shouldn't be walking like that.
Walking like what? I gotta walk. Should I crawl? All right, bye. question. Hey, with all that junk in your trunk. Huh?
Right.
What?
Why was you walking with all the junk moving?
Right. What's going on with that?
I am just walking.
We know you down. Yeah.
Gray sweatpants season. Gray sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
we were wearing
in front of your sweatpants.
There you go.
Hey, what's that in front of your sweatpants? Hey,
you are so off topic. You're so off topic. Oh God.
I'm just saying, it happens both ways. When I say no, wait a minute, no, we don't. And we can go to the outliers. Does it happen on a regular basis? It doesn't. Does it happen? Yes. Anyway, and again, girls with BBLs probably do get catcalled a lot more because you want to say something to her. You get so excited. Hey, girl, what's all that? What's back there? You don't expect to win. You don't expect to get it with that. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's like it's a form of compliment.
That very authentic.
Whole bunch. I don't. That shit don't do nothing for me. It's a whole bunch of nervous energy. It does zero for me. I need to know what's up here.
Okay. I'm listening.
Like you see her brain when you meet her.
You gotta stimulate my mind.
I can tell you got that light bulb in there, right, Doc?
Right, yes.
See that light bulb shining, girl.
If you can't stimulate my mind, I can't waste my time.
Oh, okay. I'm done.
Right.
Back to the topic.
Right. So what I did learn about the surgeries are that the biggest issues with BBLs are one, if fat, when they inject this fat back into you, if it hits your bloodstream, that could be a problem. That's a real problem.
Oh.
And then I learned that fat craves blood, right? So if they put this blood into you and it can't get blood, then it just dies. And then it becomes infectious.
Oh,
so that becomes a problem. So now you have this infection inside of you that you may not know for a certain amount of time. That now that infection gets in your bloodstream, carried through all your body, you could definitely expire.
Interesting.
So that was very interesting.
That is
two things I didn't know about the fat injections. And the last one I learned is that if they put too much, it'll damage the skin. So the skin on the outside would become damaged and could rupture. Like a tire could actually bust. And that's when you see the skin that's black and what's it, nephrotic, whatever. It dies.
It dies. And Daryl's interesting. Those are interesting points because I think a lot of people may think that that's a more natural way to do it, putting something from you back in you versus a foreign object.
Right. That's what I believe, Ruth.
Wow.
I believe that was. That's you. You just put you back in you. Right.
That's interesting.
And I think that as we were talking about the numbers, people will see a number like this and say, "Oh, it's only about 1%. That's not a big deal."
Right.
But then when you look at what that 1% means, that's at 150,000 people per year. So you might say 1% is not a big deal, but don't go looking further that 1% is of all the surgeries that are happening.
And a large number of them.
And a large number.
Yes. Wow.
Hey, when you put it that way, Doc, it definitely takes on a different feeling in me. 1%, like that's nothing, but that's a lot of people. That's still a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Wow. That's how people can lie with the numbers. So so it goes back to people are dying to be perfect,
and those are the complications. I'm sorry.
Right, you're willing.
What about the fatalities there? What about the deaths?
And like I said, there's some things worse than death. I think pictures and videos of women whose bodies were just destroyed, damaged, and they couldn't repair them. Right. So that to me is also a horror story. And I don't know what the numbers are on that. Like we talk about death, but we're talking about what about the botched surgeries or the scars, or people whose body starts eating away at itself, and they have these big they don't have a butt no more because it ate away. It's just a cavity back there at that point. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the numbers on that type of stuff.
True.
It's very interesting.
True.
So is there a way, can you find out how many times like that doctor had like a malpractice suit or something like that? Or is that something that can happen?
Yeah, that's something you can look up. You can look up any doctor, even psychologists and you can look up a doctor and see if they have any complaints against them.
Oh, okay. So where would you go if you know? I don't know if you know, but where would you go to find something like that? That is good information to have.
I would think that you'd have to go to the AMA for medical doctors or the organization that licenses the plastic surgeons.
Okay.
They would probably have those statistics. I mean, not those. They would probably have, tell you what the procedure is to put in a complaint against a surgeon. And tell you the numbers, and if they've been complained against.
I did read too. A lot of these surgeries are done cheap, and that's where the problem comes in when they start bargaining and they're going to different places to get them done.
Yep.
Right. The person may not technically be certified, board certified, and they might not be certified in this area, or you're leaving the country, which is adding another thing because you got planes and pressure and coming back. Someone said, what do you say? When you come back to Miami every Monday, they're all coming back. So from wherever, and you see them all sitting on the side because they can't sit right.
Oh my gosh!
Whole plane full of women that just got these surgeries done and are returning. So it's very interesting.
And the cheap aspect, Daryl, makes me think about, if something goes wrong, you've used up all your money for that procedure. So it's unlikely that you're going to be able to go back and get things rectified and fixed when that's going to cost you again.
Right.
How about that piece?
You put everything in, all your eggs in one basket, hoping that this will be
one and done.
Everything will be fine. Right. I didn't think about that part of it either.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
I think about that because you see, the stars can afford to go back and get things fixed. The average person may not be able to do that.
And it's funny too. I know we'll talk about we'll get to Doc, but I think sometimes even the mentality where people just continue to go back and back and back and go bigger, or fix, and now you look like like little Kim. Like, what is going on? You are a whole new person.
Yeah.
And you just destroyed yourself by continually going back. So for her, someone like her, I think she's chasing something that she can't obtain. She can't obtain because there's no reason to continue to go back, and you don't look like anything anymore. And that's very difficult. So highest mortality rate surgery.
Highest mortality rates.
What? So which one would be?
What do you guys think it is?
Highest mortality rate.
All right, wait a minute. You know what? Let's start with. Let's do this one. The highest risk.
Okay. The highest risk.
I'm gonna go with the same thing for both because it's the only one I hear about all the time is the BBL.
I was going to say the BBL too.
That's all I hear about because I think back in the day, they had plastic surgery and things of that nature, but I think them things fell to the wayside.
Yeah.
The highest.
I would say BBL as well.
It's a body lift. I didn't even know people did that.
What's that? A full body lift? What is that?
I mean, I lift bodies at night. Nobody died, but I don't know. That's not different type of lift.
It's where you lift everything from the bottom up.
Wow.
They said you lift your belly, your butt, your thighs, and everything at once to improve the shape of your body. I didn't know that.
Now that's a new one for me. I've never heard of that.
Neither did I. But when I looked up the stat, this is what came up.
I want to know how much it costs. And I know that has to be, I see why that's the highest level because that got to be trauma on your body for the whole body to be done. Oh my God! Like that has to be
at one time.
And I wonder what is the recovery for that.
It has to be a long time.
Oh,
ever. Take the 4 off it so long. Ever. Not forever. It's ever. So long. It's ever.
When I saw this, I was wondering what kind of situation would you get something like this?
Good question. Yes, that's a great question.
Interesting. I mean, I would think automatically celebrity status, but maybe not. Maybe if somebody has, who knows, a wedding, people do things for these things.
Oh, you know what just came to my mind? If someone lost a whole lot of weight.
Now, that's another reason.
But you wouldn't get your whole body done over at that point. You would just get the extra skin usually around your the skin removed.
But what if all that skin?
But yeah, once you get the skin removed, maybe you need to be lifted back up.
Yeah.
Look at Daryl's eyes.
Could be. But I mean, what am I doing on my feet? You know what I mean? I don't understand why my feet would be done. You know what I mean? So
did they say feet down?
No, it says it says your thighs, your butt, your belly, and your genitals. All of that from your knees up, I guess, get lifted up.
Right. Maybe they were weight heavy down on the lower portion, and then gravity, they got to pull it back up from the weight laying on it for so long. Who knows?
Okay. I mean, I can see that.
Maybe.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I don't know what it entails when you have to get skin removed, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. A body lift. That's interesting.
Now the one the one that you guys mentioned, which we all know, the highest mortality rate is the BBL.
Okay.
And that's the highest mortality.
And that's what everybody's trying to get.
Wow.
And the surgeons themselves say that this is the deadliest procedure
to get. And it's getting worse, it says.
And it's getting worse.
Wow.
They said the procedure is getting worse?
The death rate is getting worse.
Okay.
The death rate.
God. But I wonder why.
I think, and this would be my guess, just because people are trying to get a cheap way of going other places that they shouldn't be going. Because most people, it's usually in the recovery they have issues. They don't usually have complications right then and there. I see a lot of times it's in that recovery after the surgery. Maybe they're not following up, or people have. I think somebody help you with the drainage and all that. So
it could be.
I would think that.
It could be that piece.
Wow.
The aftercare piece.
Right. And
I think, Daryl, you made a valid point. If you spend your money to take a weekend in Miami or the DR or whatever, and you get it done, and you got to come right back.
Right.
Then you're really complicating the recovery.
Right.
Wow.
And if you don't have, and then who do you have with you too? Like you have someone to help you through it. And I don't know all what it takes. I was looking up some things, but I don't know what it takes when you get home and you got to sit there and the drainage and the pain, and I don't know if there's follow-up that you have to go to, but it just like what I was saying, it seems like it's a lot more intricate than you would think. There's a lot more going on than you would think. I think people feel like, even in my mind, I feel like you go get the surgery, you come back in a week, you're good, but that's not the case. It's not the case. A lot of pain, a lot of bruising,
a lot of complications.
Right. You're putting yourself at risk for so many things, and I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. And I just keep going back to the mindset. Like I just kept looking at different things about the mindset of people who do this, and it's very difficult to kind of pin down their mindset because they can tell you anything, right? They could be speaking through insecurities, but they're like, no, I just want to do it because I want to do it. I'm doing it for me.
Yes.
So you want a ginormous butt for you?
That brings me to the question too, Doc, of is there consultation? Is there significant consultation before that? before the doctors allow the procedure to go forward?
I don't think so. Not from what I've seen and what I've, from what I've heard. It's not. They just do the consultation, mapping out what they're gonna do to you. They don't ask. They don't ask you
figuring out your mindset.
Yeah, they don't ask you why you want it done and what
That's
have you seen a psychologist or a psychiatrist before you do all of this stuff to yourself?
That's not okay.
So what I did see is that, it's two things you look at it. Do they do that for all elective surgeries? Do you have to go get, you don't. But some doctors said it's on the doctor. One doctor was saying, listen, I need to know why you're doing it. And I can tell you what I'm going to do. And if it don't line up, then I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But another doctor's like, listen, it's so much money out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
These surgeries, it's so much money and they paying cash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to do that surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this with Kanye West's mom.
Yep.
Where the doctor said, don't do it. You are not a candidate to do it. She went somewhere where she can get it done.
Yep,
that's
you're right.
The other thing.
You're right.
You're going to find somewhere to get it done.
Yes,
and I think that's the difference between a good doctor and a bad doctor.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like Daryl's saying, even if you get the good advice, you can still opt to go somewhere else and let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. You can definitely doctor shop.
And it it'll never happen, but it would be a good thing if you got that same answer at every doctor.
Oh yeah, but it won't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And as like I said, this is catching on, and the doctor's saying this is the new thing. This surgery is the new thing. It's rampant. He said they're coming hot. You can't turn them away. So it's so much money to be given. I mean, to make, and then they were saying something like, they do have certain, where I think one dude, like, they only can put like 5 milliliters of fat in you in California or something like that. They have, some places do have some regulations, but if you want 10, that means you need to go somewhere else.
Wow.
Like I said, you can jump right to the DR and get right. Or even go down to Mexico. I know people go right down to Mexico, and get right. But dealing with that, the one lady who remember they got the car got shot up because they thought they were transporting something. Maybe
did I hear that?
4 months ago? Yeah, it just happened like 4 months ago.
Okay.
She took her brother and 2 other people. They were going to Mexico.
I did hear that. Mm-hmm.
To get her body done.
Mm-hmm.
But the cartel thought they were
dealing with drugs or something.
Smugglers. Thought it was smugglers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And stopped the car. They got ran and killed 2 of them. But
wow.
Yep.
But that's what you're doing.
And that's where she was heading. You're right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But again, where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's a bargain, they will come. They will come. Oh, we can get that for $4,000 on the way. We can get that for $3,000.
Well, I would think you would think that something like that you wouldn't bargain with, but
some folks are always shopping for a bargain.
Yes,
always.
Very true. Very
even if it's a life-threatening one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, what is Daryl mentioned? One of the causes of death.
Mm-hmm.
Any others? What do you think, Daryl? You mentioned the embolisms.
Yeah, embolisms. Like I said, the dying of the fat, which creates
circulation, causes cardiac.
Right. Yeah, cardiac problems.
Mm-hmm.
Infections.
Infection for sure.
Infections is a big one. And
infections
actually, a lot of times don't even lead to death, but lead to other things in the person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would think infection is high up on the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I said, if that fat doesn't get blood, it dies and it becomes, and the death now becomes infected. And the infection can run through your body.
Mm-hmm.
And but then now you're living in pain, and you may have to get something removed. That can be really, so now you got one cheek. Not hot in the streets. Your nickname be Bun.
Did you say Bun?
Don't ask him to repeat it, please. Don't ask him if he said it, please.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Honey
assume,
Bun.
Doc, assume that he did it. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. So infection. Are there other causes?
Yeah, what
Bleeding?
What else, Doc? What you got?
Bleeding. That's
Right.
Bleeding.
Right. I mean, it's a surgery.
Mhm.
It's a surgery.
Hemorrhaging. That's it.
Right.
What about just the anesthesia part before we even get to all of that? Is that?
Oh yeah, yes.
That
Yes.
they said, like I said,
big
it's a
too,
tough
right?
surgery. It's
Yeah.
a tough surgery, and you stay under for so long. Anesthesia is a real problem. It's a real problem.
Wow.
But especially if they're trying to get a couple things done at once. You know, if they're
Yeah.
taking fat from,
Yeah.
if they're doing a fat transfer and they're taking it from, you know, your love handles or your arms, wherever they're taking it from, then they transfer it to the, you know, to the back and kind of shape it. That takes a while.
Yeah, you've got to stay under for a while.
You're under for a while with
Yes.
this anesthesia running through your body, which is not really supposed to be there.
And higher volumes of it. Yes.
And you know, just sometimes I do hear the shock to your system could shut it down. You know, from all the surgery, everything going on, your body could just fail. And the other thing they said, the girl who just passed, like she had some type of underlying heart problem.
Oh wow.
So they were saying that, you know, a lot of people
go ahead.
A lot of people don't. They said this would have been found out with a routine checkup.
Yes.
And they said people are not getting routine checkups for getting this type of work done.
Yes.
And that's a problem. That's why a lot of people have issues. Yes, without a routine.
A routine, I'm just saying, a body overall.
Right. Like you're not even getting your well visit.
Your wellness
You know,
visit, exactly.
But you want to spend $6,000 to get a butt. Let's make it make sense, y'all.
I think another factor, and you can tell me if I'm right, Doc, might be the time span. Like you getting this done. We said when you get too much at one time, but some people get one thing done and then they want to jump and get the next thing in the 3 to 6 months. And they may advise them against that for, you know, wait a year, 2 years, and they don't want to wait that long. They don't want to wait.
I do wonder what is the time period between things. But I know people try to value mill it and put everything together. Like I'm under. I might as well stay under for 10 hours.
Thing. That's the new thing.
Coming back. Like, wait, what? Stay under for 10 hours? That don't even sound correct.
That's the new thing now. They're just combining combos.
And again, and the mental health piece is still to me, you know, like I think, did we talk about that, Doc, where people just not being happy?
We didn't, but we should.
The procedure.
Well, let me show this one last cause of death.
Okay.
Which surprised me when I saw it.
Right.
Suicide.
So that's perfect. That leads right into the next thing, suicide. Because again, why are they committing suicide? I mean, they got this surgery, which they felt like it's going to make a big difference. And it doesn't make the difference they thought. You know, it doesn't make the difference they thought. And the biggest thing I can see would be, and we all see this a lot, where I think people think they're going to be chose now. They think they're going to be chose. I'm going to get a man. I'm going to get the man I want or the woman I want. And you may get them, but they don't keep you. So you see a lot of these people who these bodies, none of them married. Most of them get passed around, dating multiple people. It's not really you're not getting to the end of the rainbow with it. So I think that would be disappointing if I did all this work and now I'm still not getting chose. You know, that still is an issue.
Or you look in the mirror and you still
don't like what you see. You don't like what you see.
So that's even for me, lifting and stuff like that is definitely a body dysmorphia is a part of lifting, kind of, because sometimes you're just like you're never really happy what you see in the mirror, but it's somewhat healthy sometimes because it helps you to keep going. But if you get to the point where you just don't like yourself and you think this change is going to make you better, that becomes a problem because when you change, you're still the same person.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And you're still going to see yourself the same way. Right? So I can see someone being upset at me getting this done, and in my mind, I'm still me. I know who I am inside. It didn't change my inside. It just changed my outside appearance.
Wow.
So then what do you have? You're like, I did all this and I still don't like myself. Or people still aren't approaching me, or whatever it was that
whatever you thought was going to happen, right?
Didn't happen.
Whatever you thought, or even or it could be the thing where, again, I know with body dysmorphia, I don't care how big I was or how in shape I was. I was just not in the moment. I didn't respect it. I would see it in pictures and I'd be like, oh, I did look good, but in real life, I didn't. So I can see you getting the surgery done, and it's still not what you wanted.
Not good enough.
It didn't look. You didn't look. It wasn't like I wanted it to look. It wasn't either as big enough or tight enough or small enough or high enough. It just wasn't. And that's when you see people, I think, like a little Kim, where you just keep going back. But that's a mental issue to me. That's more about your mental than the physical, because you can't outdo your mental. You're trying to erase something with surgery when you might need counseling.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
That counseling is a major piece.
But the problem is, if the plastic surgeons turn the people around and say, hey, I think you should get some counseling first, I think they're afraid the people might not come back.
Yes.
Well, even if they do, like I said, you're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
For every doctor out there, like you said, that this is a good, responsible doctor who took the Hippocratic oath and it will do no harm. For everyone that really respects that, we have a 9, 10, 11 that don't.
Yep.
And are just trying to get that money. Like we said, these are cash. You know, these are cash surgeries. It's not insurance usually paying for. So I'm getting this $6,000 cash today. I'm getting this $7,000 cash today. So if I'm gonna get cash out of it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Because I got to pay for my lifestyle, and that's the problem. So me paying for me allowing you to pay my lifestyle is gonna let you come in and do whatever you need done.
Right.
So you want a third titty? Okay, where you want it at?
Right here, please.
And that's funny, but some of the stuff that we see, we know that that's what's happening. We know that the doctor's like, oh, is that what you want? All right, I got you.
Right. Like, it's getting ridiculous. I really am wondering now, is that comfortable when your butt is, this big and your body is this big and you can barely sit down? Can you lay down? Like it's not even, it doesn't look comfortable, some of these women, because they're going overboard. Like, again, that's the other thing. People are going overboard. Yes,
they are. And what strains are they putting on other parts of your body to hold that up?
They're just getting bigger and bigger. And it's like, when are we going to stop? When somebody float away? Because eventually somebody either going to float away or they're going to go to a boat cruise and jump in the water and just go right to the bottom.
It is getting exaggerated. It really is getting exaggerated.
Absolutely insane. And I don't know if that's comfortable. And my other thing is, I don't know, is there, and I didn't have time to look, do you need to redo anything? I know sometimes with breast implants in like 10 years, you have to go do something. Right. What is the maintenance on that? You got to go in and get like a BBL pit stop to get a little something.
Sometimes done. They do from what I've seen. They have to go in and get a little more filler in there or whatever it is. It may get a little lopsided. I've seen this. Yeah. You've got to go back.
And that's crazy. You do all of that and then you find out it wasn't worth it. And now suicide is there, which is insane. That you trying to fix yourself outwardly and not inwardly. That's tough. And we will share the, for anyone for the suicide hotline, we will share that. Just in case anyone needs it. The most common is Botox. So Botox is almost like the gateway. That's the gateway. That's when you start, because people find these little invasive surgeries. Well, it's not even surgery, invasive things they do cosmetically. and that's how you feel comfortable. You know, right. You do that. And again, same thing. 18, 19, 20 years are doing it.
Yep.
You know, you're doing it already. You're starting early. It's not like a thing where, you know, you're 70 or, you know, you're later in life. You're doing it. This is starting early. Cosmetic surgeries are really starting earlier and earlier. And that's also allowing these things to be more common. You know, people used to hide these things, but now, you know, you come back, and you don't see your friend for like 2 or 3 months, and they come back and they like a whole new person. face don't move, butt is ginormous, breast is crazy, and they look like every other person that had surgery on TV. You know, they look very similar. Everybody has the same look right now. So it's crazy. And I think it's funny because now people are like, we like the natural look.
We're going back to that.
It's the world is crazy. You can't make people happy. I mean, you give everybody a job laying down, they're gonna stand up, right? They're just gonna find a way to do the opposite. And as these surgeries become more and more common, I do hear a lot of my friends, we like the natural look.
We're going back to the natural.
Right. Because again, people are ODing, you know.
And so how does that make those folks feel? They have all this work done. And is that a fad? I mean, you paid all that money and risked your life for a fad that passed?
Well, like you said, this is when we see the people who
this is when we
are ending their existence. You know, they don't want to be here anymore. You know, because they tried. This is their try. You know, they try to fix themselves was to say, oh, other people do this and they're getting attention. I'm gonna do it to get attention. And you'll get attention, but that doesn't really help you to get people to know you, right? If they're just coming after you for these aesthetics, you know, it's almost like fetishizing. Like, I would love to know what that big behind. Like, it becomes almost like a fetishize. People are fetishizing you when you, especially when you go OD, right?
That's a good point.
That is.
Well, and what if that happens and you're not used to that kind of attention?
Wow, that could be tough too.
That can be hard on the mental too.
Right, because now you do get what Doc says, the cat calls and things of that nature. Because anything outside the norm is going to get attention.
Yes.
Like if you ride around here, if you ride around on a unicycle, people gonna look at you because it's outside the norm. So if you're out here and you're ginormous, if your arms are ginormous, people are going to look at you, right? So anything we do that's outside the norm, that's again, because like people are not getting a regular BBL, like they're not getting like,
But didn't it start as a regular one? Didn't you see over time recently that it's gotten, like we said, progressively worse?
No, that's what right, because people think bigger is better.
Started with the smaller, you know, just to maybe enhance a little bit, or you know, do a little lift here. But now
everybody got a shelf in the bag.
Everybody.
And what are you carrying? They're carrying stuff on it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't Ruth, don't say it like it's disgusting or anything. I mean, I'm not saying
it's noticeable. But Daryl, like you said, it's noticeable and it gets your attention.
Oh, it's going to get attention. It's going to get attention. But like I said, can you handle it? That's the thing. Can you handle it?
Can you handle it mentally?
Because you may want attention from someone, but you're going to get attention from everyone. Because I mean, even as a woman, if you see it, you'll be like, "Damn, like that's crazy."
Oh yeah,
I want to look too. Right.
Like, hey, look. And he's like, "I don't want to look." Yes, it's just it makes you look.
It does, and I think that's part of it. But like that, you don't know you become famous overnight.
That's a way of putting it.
And then I would think the same thing is I would wonder, like, damn, now people really just want me for my butt. That would make me feel sad too.
Yes,
like,
when you came to that realization.
If my attention started coming because I made these changes, I don't care what it is, because I got my face done, my nose done, my titties done, whatever done, breast done, whatever done. If now people kind of, you know,
you just going a little fast there. You had to slow down for a minute.
Right. If the fact that now people are into me because of this surgery, that I would think that would feel so hollow to me. Eventually, I would feel so like, dang, you weren't really into me before, but now you howling at me. It'd be no different than if I hit the lottery right now and women were coming to flock to me.
Right.
I would know you came because of the money I had, which would mean I know I couldn't really, at that point, who could I really trust? Because I know you're coming for a reason. So now if my body's the only reason you're coming, I think that becomes hollow, right? Like, God, they don't really like me.
No.
They didn't holler at me before, but now I got this and they hollering at me. I would think that could, lead to some bad thoughts.
I think you're right.
Some bad thoughts.
It adds to it.
Right.
And your worthiness, like your overall worthiness on this earth. Yeah.
And you got to question every time someone talks to you, is this genuine? You know, are you really trying to holler at me, or are you trying to holler at me because of this, what I've done to myself? So that would be tough for me as well to,
And you know another aspect of it, I'm not sure if you've seen it, that sometimes when they get these things done, especially the breast jobs, you lose a lot of natural feeling in your body. Like you're not feeling things anymore. You can't feel touch in the same way. That was interesting when I read that a lot of the nerve damage from what they've done or what they've added in alters your natural ability to feel. I thought, I wouldn't want that.
They still feel good to me.
No, it might feel good to Daryl, but to her, she's not feeling anything. She's not feeling it. So that's another point. She's not feeling it.
They feel good to me.
We're not talking about you. She can't feel it feeling good to you.
Even though I've heard men say that some of the jobs that aren't that great, they feel like rocks.
That's what I'm telling you. And she can't feel anything.
Well, first of all, even if they feel like rocks, did they leave? They didn't. So tell them stop lying. But I was with one girl, and she had, I think, she probably got hers at like the dollar store, because they actually, when you can hear the whatever inside crumple.
Stop.
Crumple.
Oh
I really felt like somebody took a Ziploc bag.
What the heck?
Nah, I felt like it was a Ziploc bag they put in there, and it just was like crumple. Crumple. I said, did you hear that? Every time it says a breast, I heard. Did you hear that?
Forgive him, folks. Forgive him.
Don't forgive me. Forgive that. When she paid $150, she should have knew it wasn't going to be what she thought it was. I swear to God, it was like.
Oh my God.
Hey, somebody knocking at your door. Crazy. So yeah,
I didn't even think about that piece. I didn't even think about that.
Did she prepare you?
She didn't.
No, she didn't prepare you.
She did.
No, she didn't tell you to wear your headphones.
She did. Well, but even headphones, you know how you can feel the vibration in your hands.
She didn't say, I got my boobs done, so they might feel a little funny.
You know what? I think she did. I'm almost positive she did.
He doesn't remember.
No, because at first when your blood leaves your head, you don't really hear anything anyway. You're on autopilot. You just got one thing in mind. But I do think she said, "Oh, I got a cheap job or something," and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. They look fine. Ain't nothing wrong with these things. Crumple. Okay." I think we have a problem.
Daryl, did that last go up? Did that last?
No, it didn't. I couldn't get past that after that. Like, it just was weird. It was like, it just was weird.
I would think so.
It was weird. Because then I'm like, she's cheap. You know, she got the worst job ever done.
So then you developed all these negative thoughts about her.
Right. I'm like, what if we're sleeping together? She roll over and I got to hear crumple. I can't sleep like that. You know, that's a problem.
Does that equal somebody snoring? I mean, it's like the same.
So maybe, but I think it'd be different because it'd be quiet and she moves.
Well, I didn't want you to really answer that. That was a rhetorical question.
I'm just saying, it just didn't work.
I really didn't want you to answer.
It didn't work for me.
Okay.
But again, I think and it's like, what is your mindset or motivation to do these things? You know, people always say, I do it for me. You know, I just want to, even guys, just want to be taller. Well, really, do you want to be taller for what? You've been short all your life. So what's it going to change now, right? And I really just wonder what the motivation is to do something like this, to go under the knife. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, for me, I would think you would have to be unhappy with what you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just me. I could be wrong.
And I've never had anyone come to me for counseling for that, except for one woman who came to me for counseling, but it wasn't for cosmetic. No, it wasn't for cosmetic. She was getting ready to get a gastric bypass.
Okay.
And the doctor told her he wanted her to see somebody first, and she came to me.
So with that, you have to, right? Mm-hmm. Any type of them bariatric surgeries, you do have to see. It's like it's a whole, because, well, first of all, insurance is paying for it, right? So there's a whole process of things you have to do as far as taking some nutrition courses. You have to go to some therapy. You have to go see a psychologist. Like, these are all things you have to do because the surgery is tough, and they want to make sure your mind is right for it. They want to make sure that you're doing it for a right reason, and that you have time in losing weight. So it takes about 6 to 9 months to get it done, because they want to make sure you're good, make sure you can hold off the weight. Because they're like, after the surgery comes, your life won't be different. Like, if you just eat the way you've been eating, you're going to be back to where you were. And that's what, it's crazy for that surgery, since it's not really for cosmetic, right? Sometimes it's for health and things of that nature. They're making you jump through all these hoops to make sure you're okay, to make sure that the surgery really, that you take it serious and it's for a purpose. But now for BBL and them things of that nature, it's like, nah, you're doing it for yourself. It's cosmetic. You're paying for it. It's your money. Do what you want to do. And up to the doctor to really say yay or nay.
Right.
Big difference there.
Yeah, it's a big difference. And again, I really wish someone would come in like, well, and because then they say, well, I want a makeover because what? I want to look young again, or I want to get back out. Like, what is it? What is the reason? Because I think even looking young again, well, for what?
For what?
Again, I think that you're doing something to invoke a response, but it's not a genuine response, because people are only responding to the change you made outside. Right? They're responding to the outside change, if that's what they're responding to at this point now. So if nobody liked you, if nobody liked you when you didn't have a butt, and you have a butt, now everybody likes you, it's because you have a butt. It's not because of you.
I wonder how many people make that decision too, based on breakups or divorce. You know how you hear people going back to the gym when they're related. Right. And I always say to myself, why would they do that while they're together? I never really understand that. Like, going to fix these things after the breakup.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get back on these streets, you gotta compete with these young girls.
I think that's good. There we go.
Well, I mean, that's what you're really competing with, right? You're competing with the eye of what you think men, or if a woman or a man thinks a woman, you're competing with that. So you're trying to be like, if you're out here getting your legs broke to be taller, you're not doing it, I don't think, just for you.
Right. Yeah.
Because from my understanding, like that, for men, when they get they want to be taller, that surgery limits what you can do as far as your athleticism. It's weak. So they said you can't really run again. You can't because that bone density hasn't built up either. So you're doing it
just for looks.
You got to be just to be a little taller. And then what does that look like when you get older? Because now your bone is already weak.
That's
it's going to be weaker. Are you going to be in a wheelchair? Are you destined for a wheelchair in 10 years because you did this surgery? So I don't know if there's any studies on it long term. Getting surgeries where you're getting taller. I don't know, but I know it's painful. It looks painful. It doesn't look like something I would want to go through. It doesn't. For a couple inches, No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And what if you get tall and they still don't want you?
And they probably won't if it's just based on, personality or whatever. That's not going to make a difference.
Well, it's tough. It's tough. Like I said, right now, and I see why people are doing these surgeries because, like I said, if dating is really two-dimensional and it's on these apps and things of that nature, and people are going by what they see. It's when you're on these apps, you're ordering what you like, and you read, 6 foot, okay, I got 6 foot and up. If you 5'10", they're just swoop, they're not even looking at you.
Wow.
So you're going to get that couple inches just so you may be able to get to
wow.
your personality, right? I'm doing this so I can get my personality out there. Because other than that, I don't get to show my personality because they don't want a short guy, So that's why, and that's what's in people's heads sometimes.
Interesting.
So it's tough. So think about it. If I'm on a dating app and if I like bodies and you see the ones with bodies, you're gonna pick them first.
But you might be missing out on the good ones without the bodies. What?
Is there such thing as a good one without a body?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Did he just say that? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, Daryl.
Which is typical of a man because
yes,
that's right. The term butterface came from a man, I'm sure, where they don't care what the face look like as long as the body is good.
Listen, the saying is, I've done worse. Okay, I've done worse.
And it sounds like we have to change society's thinking.
No, society's thinking has changed because
for the
it is
worse.
Moving. Well, that's what I mean. It is moving in the direction that it's really everybody's shallow how these days.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's shallow how. Everybody's very shallow, and it's about what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't base it on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why can't we? You can't
because looks fade. Daryl, looks fade.
Not if you can get some plastic surgery.
I knew that was coming. I walked right into that.
We can fix that. We can fix whatever it is.
Looks used to fade, I'll say.
Right now it's like, damn girl, you 89? Really?
Did you see Cher?
Mm-hmm.
Cher look good.
Does she? Cher looks scary. She looks scary.
I'm saying good by society standards.
No, she's
like
scary
80
by society.
Right? 80 something.
Is she? Cover her face up, maybe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cher's older.
Yes, face, body done, yes.
She just broke up with that young boy. She had a young boy too.
Did. Mm-hmm.
They just split up.
So I guess it wasn't just about the looks.
No, it's about the money.
There's my point.
It was about the money. Yeah, I mean, she's still a grandma. Like, you're gonna hit the 80-year-old, she better have more than the body. The body might get you a night or two, but you gotta have other.
Let's not go back to the stale bread. Let's skip over.
Right. Stale bread. Ain't nobody with no stale bread. But if you got an open couch and I ain't got nowhere to go,
grandmom's house.
You know what I mean? Grandma be asleep by 7:30. You're good. you can sneak out when she go to sleep. You know what I mean? You good.
It's terrible.
It is, and like I said, this is the mindset, and what we're seeing that people aren't happy.
No,
and this is why they're ending themselves. People are not happy with these things because it's not turning out the way that they thought it would. You know, like I said, I think that when you do something like that, you really make it easy for people to pick you for a time, for a season.
Yes,
but they're not keeping you, right? And I think people need to understand that even if you do that, if you're doing that, you may attract attention, but it may not be the attention where they're going to keep you.
Yes,
and that's what you want. So you want to do things that are going to, like I said, further your relationship with people, that where it can go somewhere, and it's not like you're changing people every 2 to 3 months. You probably you most likely will have no lack of suitors if you're doing these things to make your body bigger.
Right.
You have no lack of suitors, but after a while, that feeling of everybody howling at you and then being inbox, it still feels. I think you're still going to feel lonely.
You can still feel empty.
Have no genuine connection.
Yes.
You have no genuine connection, and that's what we're missing today. No genuine connection.
Wow.
And that's tough. That makes it very tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I don't know. I think it's just, I really wish we had someone to really kind of tell us like why they did it and what did they get from it. And,
yes.
You know, and how do they feel now, and especially like years later. 5 years later, how do you feel? 6 years later, how do you feel? 7 years, has it changed your life at all? You know? Now, I guess if you're doing it to get in movies or, you know, and you get a movie, then I guess you win.
Wow.
But that's like hitting the lottery too, because most people aren't making it that far. You know, so many people. The market is saturated with these actually monoliths, and people are actually just one person. The market is saturated with everybody looking the same. Everybody, it's saturated. So it's really like they're just picking you out of a hat at this point. Because everybody's the same. You go big butts. Everybody got a big butt. Okay.
Right.
I want the girl with no butt. I want the girl with no butt now because she's different. You know, that's what's gonna start. Well, I think most patterns and things of that nature go. What's usually hot is what's
different.
What's
different.
What's
What's obscure. What's not. You know. So then you're gonna start seeing people getting the butt reductions, getting it taken off, going the opposite direction. Because again, it's oversaturating the market. And I really see it now. I really now I'm out. You see so many ginormous butts. It's like, come on. Like, it's not even a trap. Like, really? And you didn't get your legs done. You got these little legs and this big butt. Look like it's hurting your knees. Like, it looked like it hurt. You know? Or it just looks like, wow, another one. It's just, come on, man.
Oh.
This is insane.
The world we're in, the world we live in.
I'm not going to stop looking, but this is insane.
Well, see, that's the problem, Daryl. You got to
not going to stop looking.
You know, I still think men have to take a stand and say, that doesn't look good.
You know what? Bill Bellamy did that on Instagram.
Did he?
He put a post on Instagram about no more fake butts.
Okay. I missed that.
He had a similar, he took a stance saying
that's what men need to do.
That he wants women to stop getting their butts done.
There you go, Daryl. Get on that side.
Why? Listen.
Because maybe women will listen.
No. Listen. Let's not. We're not going to wait. I'm not going to inflict damage on myself. I'm not saying a nice butt is not. A nice butt leads to.
Can somebody take the sound effects from him, please? Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm not telling you not to do it, but I would say I think people need to have some type of parameters. Like you want to look.
No, they don't.
Natural.
No, people don't.
I think you should want to look kind of natural.
People don't.
It's not about the biggest, the biggest that is the best. I think it should fit your frame, right? It shouldn't like it. If your butt look like you got wings, I think you went too big. Okay. If I see you walking to me and I look like you got wings behind you, you went too big.
I can't. I just can't.
I just think that if you're gonna do it, check your insides first. Check your mental.
Right.
Get your head checked out before
I agree.
Before you get anything done.
I agree.
And ask yourself, what's my purpose? Like, what am I looking for doing this?
What is my goal with
it? What is it? If it's like, and I do think it's it takes longer, but it's more rewarding, I think, if you do work for it.
I'd agree with that.
Work for it, do it yourself. It definitely is more rewarding. I get taking shortcuts, but I don't know. I think you just have to and do what's best for you, but definitely talk to someone maybe outside your circle, because everybody in your circle got one. They're not gonna help you. Okay.
Right.
They're gonna be like, join the club, girl.
Right. Come on
Girl,
out.
what took you so long? What took you so long?
Exactly.
Yeah, but and just be comfortable for you. Like don't over. People just go overboard. And that's really, I think, the biggest problem with it, because you definitely know, like, that's not real. Not that I don't like it. It's just
see, you
real.
can't say that after. You gotta stop saying that.
Why can I say that, Ruth?
Try to find a reputable surgeon. I mean, you might even want to. You might even want to try to test them. Go in there and say, "I want you to make my boobs a 36K."
Right.
Hey, you ever did
and
a
if
Z
he
before?
say, "All right, you K, you sure you don't want? You sure you don't want something bigger?"
Right.
Then you need to turn around and walk out.
Right, because you want a doctor who really has your best interest in mind, and is going to kind of tell you, like, look, that's going to look ridiculous, and I wouldn't want my name on that. That's what the doctor's saying. I wouldn't want my name on that because you're going to look. That's just too big for any human body, right? Like you're 115 pounds and you want a double Z. You said, I don't know if you're going to be able to stand up. It doesn't look sense. Doesn't make sense. But I definitely think that that would help a lot if you do have some of the trained professionals to say, listen, we can't put that on you. You know, have something like the BMI scale for that, where like, this is way too big for you. Your frame, this is the biggest we'll go. And I think that'll start helping people, because again, anything without limits, people are going to push it. Right? We're going to push the limits. But if you start putting restrictions on things, it's going to force people to say, all right, cool, this is fine.
Yes.
Right. And then people will start looking normal again.
Maybe.
And even if you're going to the same doctor 4 or 5 times, I think that applies. If the doctor says to you, no, you've been in here 4 times this year.
True.
I think that we shouldn't do anything else.
Right.
Right. Because
but as you see with people with money, like a Michael Jackson, they're gonna do whatever you want as long as you can pay them.
Yep.
That's the problem. Yep.
That is the problem.
Yeah, and bottom line, if you have the money or not, and get in touch with yourself and see what makes you tick and makes you happy. Period. Because all these things are temporary. They're all temporary, like Daryl was saying. They're not long term usually. Start accepting yourself. Maybe not take things for granted. Start. Nothing's going to be perfect on all of us all the time. Is the bottom line.
Absolutely.
There's going to be something, like you were saying, Daryl, even with lifting weights, that you might not like about your body, or it's not going the way you expected from doing that activity. Get in touch with what makes you tick and who you are and how special you are. That's what's wrong here. People need to value who they are.
Yeah. Ruth, that's a great point. You have to love yourself even without whatever extra you're putting on. Whatever you're going to do with whatever it is, you should love yourself before that. Before that. And if you didn't love yourself before whatever cosmetic things you're going through, I doubt you're really going to love yourself after.
It's never going to be enough, Daryl. It's never going to be enough.
That's right. It's right. Right. Because at that
surgery is not likely to change how you feel about yourself.
No, because the surgery is actually. So what you're looking for is what people think or say about you at that point, right? Because you're doing this because you're like, okay, people are going to treat me different, look at me differently. So that means how you feel is based on others. That can't happen. As soon as you get that person who says something negative, it's going to crush you.
That's true. That's
true. We can't let other people dictate how we feel about ourselves.
So true.
And that's what I think we do a lot of times. We let other people, and that's how I feel about it. I don't know if it's true or not, but when you do that, I think you're doing it for a reason, for people to respond to it. If not, why would you do it? You know what I mean? Because I can't even see my butt, so I don't know what it looks like. So I mean, if I'm doing it, if I do something, it would be for others. It would be for others to see, for other people to enjoy, or you know what I mean. So that's how I feel about it. I could be totally wrong. If I went out and got like pec surgery, that's because I want a woman to see it. I want to look better for a woman to see it. I'm not doing it for me. I don't care enough. If I could be fat, I would be fat. Who wouldn't want to sit around and eat ice cream and Oreos all day?
Right.
I would.
Right.
But I can't because I want to be attractive and I know that I have to work out. So I'm not fat, slobberly, you know what I mean? So again,
but you also want to live a little longer, don't you? You want to live a little longer too.
Yes, right. I mean, yeah, right? But I think you can eat Oreos and live long. I mean,
depends how many you're gonna eat.
You know. But again, I think that if I'm doing anything, it's not even really for me; it's for others and how they respond to me. So I don't know. And again, that's why I said if you did something to tighten things up and look more natural, I would be more on board. Like, all right, maybe you are doing that for you because you want to tighten up, you want to look better in the bikini, whatever. Okay, I get it. But when you go this big, come on now, I ain't never seen that big in life. That's crazy. Like, that's for everybody else. You want that damn when you walk in the room. That's what you want.
Be careful with that because there's a thin line between admiration of something like that, damn, and people starting to mock you for looking dysmorphic.
Most guys and that'd be women mocking you because it's called haters.
No, that's not true.
Men,
if men have sense, they might say that's too much.
Wow, now we have sense. Did you hear that, Doc? She tried to slip that one in there. Dig in, the hate comes out.
That's because men wouldn't do it.
It's triggered. See the triggering it, the big
booty. Men would do it now if they have sense.
I'm just saying, for some reason, I don't know why, but big booties are triggering Ruth.
Didn't you just say some is too big? Some of the stuff.
He just said it.
I said some are too big, but I will not stop looking. I did say that as well, right?
But you'll look, but you won't touch.
That is way I won't touch. I'm not going to say that either. given the right set of opportunities.
Oh my gosh!
I could
women do what works for you, women. This is Ruth's message, not for these men, okay? Who might or might not look, might or might not touch. Do it for you if you're going to do it. And you hear my public service announcement?
But I mean, that's anything we do. We definitely should.
I know you're right.
Yes, we should. You're right, Ruth. That is absolutely right. When you're going into anything like this, men or women, if your primary goal is to attract the opposite sex or the same, whatever you're trying, or even same sex,
or same sex,
silly. That's silly, right? That becomes silly because now you're putting your eggs in somebody else's basket. Because if they don't want you, then what?
Right.
So now you did this for the wrong reason. So if you're doing something, please do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself.
I go to the gym because I like working out. Right. I like working out.
Me too.
My I like looking good as a byproduct, but like Ruth said, I want to be here longer. I want to live longer. I want to be stronger. I want to I want to keep my body healthy. So I work out, and I work out because it's fun to me. It's fun, right? I have fun. And if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to work out that day.
Right.
But that's why I do it. Now the byproduct is I'm sexy as, I can't help it.
You have a sound effect for that?
That's a byproduct, I'm gonna add one next week.
Okay, add one for that.
I'm having my sexy.
I hope it freezes at that moment.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Doc. That's
ridiculous. Now. I love
it. Can't believe that. But like I said, I work out, and I even see Ruth. You working out, you see it's fun.
I love working out. I feel alive when I work out. All the things you just said, I keep the menopause at bay when I work out because I'm fighting against something seriously. Right. I'm much more pleasant for my mate. Much more pleasant.
Clap it up for that. But like I said,
but no, the endorphins, all of those things really do keep me doing it, motivating me. I love it. Doc's doing it. She's doing the same thing.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So I get if you want to do some type of augmentation or makeover or BBL or whatever it is you want to do, it's all cool. But you should be loving yourself before that. You should be loving yourself going into that. You should have great thoughts about yourself pre, and then that'll help out after. Because you're not looking for a response to feel better about what you did.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you go into it with about you come out of it like, okay, I don't care what people say. I don't care if it's a negative or positive, right? I don't care. If you don't like it, then don't look. Oh, you like it? What's up? What's good? I mean, whatever the case may be, but it's about you doing it for you. You know,
That's the bottom line.
Don't think that it's going to change your life.
Yep.
I would say that. Don't go into it for it to change your life. That might be a short-lived change because it's not, you know.
Very much so.
It's very it's a subjective change, and how people respond would be very subjective. And I think, and it's just like anything else we do. I think you should know exactly why you're doing it and what you want out of it, and is it reasonable?
Right.
Is it reasonable? And that's the big question we have to ask.
I like
is
that.
this reasonable? Do I think that I'm going to become a superstar if I get it done? Then I don't know if that's reasonable, right? I'm going to meet the man of my dreams. I don't know if that's reasonable. You're going to meet a man. You're going to meet many men.
many men.
many men. And may have a lot of bad dreams because it may not end the way you expect it to. And I think there needs to be more shows that talk about that aspect of it. Like you see the work and they show the pictures like, oh, look, her body looks good, but she hates herself.
Right.
You know,
right.
She's still single. People are still, you know, look at the Kardashians. I mean, they all got work done. They got millions of dollars and nobody want them.
Because
you know what I mean? Nobody wants them. And they are, you know, sometimes people look to them like, oh, I want to do this. Khloe Kardashian became a whole new person. Oh. And nobody still wants her.
And I liked her before the new Khloe look. I liked the old Khloe look.
I mean, they didn't like that look either. They didn't want her either. So the thing is, you're doing all that, and I think we need to look because most people, like I said, they're doing these things, and no one is keeping it. You know, they even were talking about, and I don't want to talk anything negative with the young lady who just passed, Young Fly, but they were like, she had 3 kids with this man, and he still didn't marry her, and then she's getting this done to maybe, like I said, maybe compete, maybe to stay, look in a certain way. Because, well, we already got 3 kids and you haven't wiped me up, so now I got to do this. Maybe. I'm not saying that was her thought. But I mean, it's so many things that could be that lead you to go 5 months later after having a baby. Your baby's 5 months old, and you're going under the knife again. You know, it's tough, and it definitely seems like it seems like something is steering you in that direction. Something is pushing you in the direction to get these things done. So, I mean, we kind of touched on a lot of things, and you know, we may, if you have any questions, we can definitely answer them, and we could, you know, maybe bring this up again. But let's give some closing words. Doc, what do you think?
I think we started closing about 20 minutes ago.
You sure did.
I think so. Well, I don't know why nobody said nothing. You just sign or wrap it up. Somebody could have said.
We did kind of say some closing words way back then.
I felt like we were closing, and then somebody closed the door and hit the gas, and we took off again. I said, "Well, here we go."
That's what happens. That's what we do. That's
take it back off again. I said,
but I think we said I think you know the one thing that we all touched on is that you have to love yourself before you do this.
Yes. You
have to love yourself, and if you go into surgery to become a whole new person, I think that's a problem.
Right, because that's not
you
surgery.
Know, if you're unrecognizable after all this stuff that you've had done, it says to me that you haven't looked inside first.
Right. And now you're looking at a stranger.
Yep.
So really
exactly.
Upset.
One that you
really
not
upset.
like.
You don't. Wow. You don't even have the comfort of you anymore.
No. No.
I can see how that could be really lonely because I don't even have me anymore. I'm looking at somebody totally different in the mirror.
For sure.
That came to my mind when you talked about the Khloe Kardashian. Like I don't follow them. But I saw, you know, everybody know what they look like. And when I first saw her the first time after all of that, I was like, who is that?
Who is that?
I didn't know who she was.
No. She doesn't know who she is.
I didn't know who she was because she looks so different.
She doesn't know who she is.
Right. Neil, I think that's really important. I don't think she does. And
no,
now
she doesn't.
You're even looking at somebody, so you really don't know who you are anymore. You're lost. Like, I'm not even looking at the person I knew in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So I
like
don't have the comfort of me.
Of yourself.
I don't have the comfort of me. Wow.
So that's going to devastate anybody. That can be devastating to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So make sure you're in tune and aligned with your inner. That's my message. Make sure you stay aligned no matter what you do to the exterior, natural or otherwise. Stay aligned with your inner. That'll guide you. That will guide it.
So I think the last thing I will say will be, if you're saving up all this money, or you have enough money to get this done, save up, maybe $1,000 more and seek some counseling before you go. I'm not saying anything is wrong with you, but I'm saying that everything we do, sometimes we may need counsel for, and we may need counsel outside of people we know. Someone who has no skin in the game, that maybe you can talk through some things before you do it. I'm not telling you not to do it, but maybe talk through some things and see maybe, and so you go into it with a better feeling. I know one person I was training with, she said she had went to counseling way before she started training, which allowed her to get some things out and allowed her to train. Right? Allowed her to, she's like, it was some things that I tried training a lot, and I would start. But through therapy were some things that were holding her back, or some things she was holding on to that she was able to work through, and then she was able to come and give 100% working out.
Wow.
Without quitting in a week, without quitting in 2 weeks.
That's great.
Right? And we lasted for like 2 or 3 years. It was incredible.
That's great. That's that alignment.
Right. And we have to get aligned. Like I said, mind-body alignment, right? It'll make it a lot better if you have a mind-body alignment instead of doing a body alignment. Right? Because that's, again, the outside is not going to figure. If my engine doesn't work in my car and I put another shell on it, the car's still not going to work.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So we got to get that mind-body alignment.
Mind-body and alignment.
We have to. So listen, before we get started again, because
that's what we do.
Right.
They don't know how to stop. Okay? We're like time out.
Love it.
But no, it was a very interesting conversation. There was so much in this conversation. And tonight it seemed like we had a lot of questions. Like we had more questions than maybe answers, which that happens sometimes. Because this topic is really, like I said, it was something that was hot topic that just came up. And we really were like, it kind of, we had some thoughts about it. And I'm glad we were able to talk about it. And hope you guys were able to take some things from it. And like, just get your help and talk to people.
Yep.
Tough. But
that's it.
Dying to be perfect. Cautionary tale. Let's not die to be perfect. All right? You guys you're perfect as you are. Yes. With that being said, we're out of here. So
wait, don't forget.
Check us on.
Go ahead.
Hey, so you can check us on Nothing But Answers, YouTube, Nothing But Answers on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Check us out. We're also on Doc's page. We're on the Wells group, Ruth page. Join our Nothing But Answers Facebook group. It's a great group, great bunch of people. A lot of things we posted there. You can learn a lot of things. It's a great group. And it's linked to this. So,
and can we say welcome to all those folks that joined recently? Because there were a lot of folks joining.
Yes, welcome to everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are so thankful.
And bring topics up.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, we are thankful for everyone who's joining us and coming along for this ride. It is really great to see people that are supporting our vision, right? Which is going to be our vision. I mean, everyone's, like I said, because our group is for us. Any questions you have, anything you want to bring up. If you want to be live on the show with us, inbox us, write us in the group. We'll definitely reach out. We're gonna do a background check, make sure you're not crazy, because we don't want anybody to
please forgive that. Please forgive that.
But we definitely, again, at Nothing But Answers, we want to hear everybody's answers. All we want is answers. We want everybody to talk and hear your voice and hear your opinions and thoughts. That's what we want to do here. This is what this is about. It's a safe place where we can speak freely, no judgment zone.
Yes.
We're just here to learn about each other and learn from each other. All right.
Well
So
said.
listen,
Like
thank
and
you guys.
subscribe. Like and subscribe
Yes.
to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button so that every time we go live, you'll be notified. Because we might just go live in the middle of the week. We don't know. We don't know what we'll do.
We
might
might
just pop in and say, "Hey, it's midweek. What are you doing?" Or if there's something really exciting coming up, or we might pop on to talk about it. So listen, or maybe you guys have something you want to talk about. You heard something. Hey, can you guys talk about such and such? If it's in our wheelhouse, we will. We'll pop on and we can give you a quick 15 minutes about something for free anytime. So with that being said, we thank you. We definitely thank you for joining us. We thank you for riding with us. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Good night.